Ty Simpson, most feel QB2, some feel potentially QB1. A guy that's moving up and is getting some talk about being a first-round pick. Alabama head coach Kalen DeBoer, who Simpson played for, talking about Ty Simpson.
Even though he hasn't played a lot of starts, I think that's the one thing people look at. He's been around college football at a high level, and he's not just in college, but he's the son of a coach, a college coach, and man, he's just done a great job. And last year he really did an excellent job of taking big steps forward, big chunks from going from playing a little bit his previous years to all of a sudden on the football field. Starting the season fast and making a lot of big plays for us. And he understands the game. He understands not just the X's and O's, but what the quarterback's job is. And it's more than just taking care of the football. It's when to make those plays. And we put a lot on his shoulders to check things. So he gets it all. He did a great job of managing the game, but he also did a great job of making big plays and big moments for us.
Fred, so Simpson has taken a 30 visit to the Browns have brought him in for a 30 visit, so that's there. I don't see him taking him at 6 if he's there late in the first round. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know really. Nobody really knows what Todd Monken really is thinking. Sure, he had a relationship with Simpson as well as Simpson's dad coaching, at similar colleges. So I thought when free agency opened, we would start to see the Browns tip their hand. And we really haven't, but you could say what they tipped their hand is we didn't hear them in on any of the quarterbacks. I mean, even Malik Willis, even if it was pretty sure he was going to the Dolphins, you would have had something leak out by an agent or something that, hey, the Browns were inquiring or checking into it. I haven't heard any reports about free agents. I haven't heard any inquiries about, guys like I mentioned earlier, the Kyler Murray's, Tua, even, guys like Anthony Richardson, who's supposed to be available, Kirk Cousins, guys like that. So that leads me to believe that the Browns are content with Deshaun Watson and Shedeur Sanders going into offseason and going from there. That leaves the draft door open because we don't know. They have, they brought in, like you said, Simpson, visits, doing due diligence. But until they get to the draft and show their hand, all bets are off. I would assume that you're not going to draft a quarterback at 6 unless they really, really like Simpson and Monken says he's the guy I want, not counting even the next year possible quarterbacks. And that's what they want to do. It just makes little sense to me at this point, unless you feel he's a surefire. Now you see Dan Orlovsky, I think it was, speaking up and saying that he thinks he's better than Francis Mendoza. Well, okay, if you have them two equal, then it comes in. Most people assume if Raiders didn't take Mendoza and he was available at 6, the Browns would take him. So you don't really know what's in the minds of these guys. The draft people all have their own world. You don't have to look any further than last year. Everybody talked about Sanders, at least everywhere I was involved, as at least number 2 behind Cam Ward. And we all know what happened. He didn't go to the 5th round. And so the NFL said he's a 5th round talent. So there's where you are. So I have no idea what Andrew Berry, what he thinks, what Todd Monken thinks. If they like Drew Aller last year, I can see him taking him. Barry even said they weren't necessarily planning on taking 2 quarterbacks last year, and they ended up doing that. So I just felt like, okay, you took two young guys last year. There's your developmental, whether they do or not. Build up the rest of the team. You got too many needs at wide receiver and offensive tackle. And then whether it's one of these guys you got or you go get one, no matter what you have to do next offseason.